Queen Elizabeth I was known for a distinctive and elaborate fashion style. Her wardrobe was filled with rich fabrics and ornate accessories, and she was often depicted in portraits wearing extravagant gowns and ruffs. Elizabeth's fashion sense was a reflection of her power and status as a monarch. She used her clothing and accessories to communicate her wealth and authority, and she carefully selected her outfits to make political statements and to convey her regal presence. Her preference for bold colours such as red and gold, and her use of symbols such as the phoenix, which represented her as the Virgin Queen, helped to reinforce her image as a powerful and regal figure. In addition to her elaborate gowns, Elizabeth was also known for her use of wigs and false hairpieces, which were very popular in the era. These wigs were often made from horsehair and were styled in a variety of ways, from curly and frizzy to straight and sleek. While in private, Queen Elizabeth I preferred to wear simple gowns and would reputedly wear the same plain gown for 2 or 3 days. When she was in public, she dressed to impress. No one was allowed to rival the Queen's appearance, and one unfortunate maid of honour was reprimanded for wearing a gown that was too sumptuous for her. The maids were meant to complement the Queen's appearance, not to outshine her. In the later years of the reign, the maids wore gowns of plain colours such as white or silver. The Queen had dresses of all colours, but white and black were her favourite colours, as they symbolised virginity and purity, and were more often than not she wore a gown of these colours. The Queen's gowns would be gorgeously hand-embroidered with all sorts of coloured thread and decorated with diamonds, rubies, sapphires and all kinds of jewels. During the Elizabethan era, women's clothing was typically made from rich fabrics such as velvet and silk, and was characterised by elaborate and ornate designs. Skirts were often voluminous, with stiffened bodices and corsets to create a flattering hourglass silhouette. Women also wore elaborate collars and sleeves, which were often decorated with lace, embroidery or pearls. The ruff, a circular collar made from stiffened fabric, was also a popular accessory in Elizabethan fashion. Elizabeth herself was known for her elaborate and ornate attire, and she frequently changed her outfits several times a day to reflect her mood and to make political statements. She was also known for her fondness for glittering and sparkling jewels and accessories, which she used to adorn her clothing and to convey her power and wealth. It is not known exactly where all Queen Elizabeth I's clothing is now, as much of it is likely lost or destroyed over time. However, some of her attire and accessories are believed to have survived and are now housed in museums and other collections around the world. For example, some of Elizabeth's clothing, including gloves and a fan, is on display at the Victoria and Albert Museum in London. The museum is home to a large collection of clothing and accessories from the Elizabethan era, as well as many other important artefacts from the history of fashion and design. Additionally, some of Elizabeth's clothing and accessories are believed to be in private collections, passed down through families or acquired by collectors over the years. However, much of her attire is likely lost to time, and it is difficult to determine exactly what survived and what has not. Queen Elizabeth I was known for her elaborate and ornate sense of style, and she frequently used a variety of accessories to complement her attire. Some of the most notable accessories that she used included her jewellery. Elizabeth was known for her love of glittering and sparkling jewels, and she often adorned herself with necklaces, earrings, bracelets and other forms of jewellery to convey her power and wealth. Some of her most famous jewels include the Welbeck pearl, the Devonshire pearls, and the Earl of Leicester's ruby. The Welbeck pearl is a large, pear-shaped pearl that was once part of the jewellery collection of Elizabeth I of England. The well-pecked pearl was said to be one of the largest pearls in Elizabeth's collection and was highly prized for its size and beauty. The exact origins of the well-pecked pearl are not known, and it is possible that the pearl was acquired by Elizabeth as a gift or as part of a larger collection of jewels. It would have been worn by Elizabeth on special occasions and was used to signal her wealth and status. The Earl of Leicester's ruby is a large red ruby that was once part of the jewellery collection of Robert Dudley, the Earl of Leicester, and a close friend and advisor to Queen Elizabeth I of England. The ruby was said to be one of the largest and finest rubies in England, and it was highly prized for its size, colour and clarity. Robert Dudley is believed to have acquired the ruby as part of a larger collection of jewels, and it is possible that he received the ruby as a gift or payment for his services. A pearl necklace was also given to Queen Elizabeth I by Robert Dudley, and it is believed to have been one of her most prized possessions. He was a close friend and advisor to her, and it is thought that he gave her the necklace as a symbol of their close relationship. The necklace was said to be made from a string of perfectly matched pearls, and it was a highly prized piece of jewellery in Elizabeth's court. Another accessory was her fans. Fans were an important accessory in the Elizabethan fashion, and Elizabeth often used them to complement her attire and to signal her mood. Fans could be made from a variety of materials, including silk, feathers, or lace, and they were often decorated with elaborate designs. Her gloves were also another accessory. Elizabeth often wore gloves to protect her hands and to complement her attire. Gloves could be made from a variety of materials, including silk, leather, or lace, and they were often decorated with embroidery, pearls, or other embellishments. She also wore hats. Elizabeth often wore elaborate and ornate hats to complement her clothing. Hats could be made from a variety of materials, including felt, straw, or silk, and they were often decorated with feathers, flowers, or other embellishments. She was also famous for wearing a ruff. The ruff, a circular collar made from stiffened fabric, was a popular accessory in Elizabethan fashion and was often worn by Elizabeth and her courtiers. Ruffs could be made from a variety of materials, including lace or stiffened fabric, and they were often decorated with lace and other embellishments. Overall, Elizabeth's heavily made-up appearance was an important aspect of her image and helped to reinforce her reputation as a powerful and glamorous monarch. Despite the risks associated with the cosmetics of her time, she also used makeup to enhance her appearance and to assert her presence as a ruler and a fashion icon.